Viewers, the players are assembled at tonight's round table. It is time to banish another player. Will we finally see a traitor leave the game, or will heartbreak and sorrow once again fill the souls of the faithful? Players, it's time for the round table. So far, the faithful haven't caught a traitor, but there was no murder today. Are the winds changing? This is your moment to turn the game around. You're almost past the halfway point, then the stakes are high. Will fate favor the traitors, or will the faithful strike back? The round table is open. Make your case, share your suspicions, and decide who will be next. Players, I need you to prove that it is actually possible to catch a traitor in this game. Players, the floor is yours.
Can I actually start?
Of course.
Um, yeah. So if you have questions about what happened with us, Caleb and I returning, feel free to ask. I feel like we chatted enough about that, but we're really open about it and we can still answer questions. Tonight, I don't necessarily have a clear mindset on who is the traitor, but Victoria, I like you. You're a great girl. You're so quiet. Again, I feel like you're smart and you're like giving us a run for your money. Each time you give a thought on the game, I'm like, wow, okay, she knows the game well. And I don't know, I just want to give you a chance to express yourself or because I'm having some suspicions on you.
So I know some people might be saying that I'm quiet, but I guess I disagree because I feel like in the breakout rooms I do express my opinions, and it just happens that sometimes when I bring up a opinion, the people in the room disagree with me, which makes me want to stop talking. For example, I was suspicious of Matt in the first round, but I know certain people have come back saying they don't think it's Matt. So in those conversations, I would feel uncomfortable continuing to talk. And then at the last round table, I was suspicious of Tina, but it kind of seemed like at a certain point, people didn't want to continue talking about Tina, so I didn't jump in to talk at that point.
So I'm gonna jump in next. Victoria, I have heard that you've been throwing my name out as a possible traitor, and you gave your points in regards to the Caleb vote. Is there anything else you can present that would make me a traitor, in your opinion?
I think the Caleb vote was suspicious to me because I felt like the challenge was a weak argument, and I know you also brought up the possibility of Chell being, or whoever voted for Chell being suspicious because they must be hiding something. And then this new story with the messages being different between Caleb and Patrice. I personally don't think those things are suspicious, so I actually think it's suspicious to turn those things into a narrative.
Okay,
Victoria, I'm just going to
so
jump in. It was me actually that brought that up. I was in the conversation with Matt when there was that discrepancy between the two messages. And then everyone explained it to me and said, Caleb was, I think, misunderstanding what we were saying. He was like stumbling and stuff. But then, I mean, that was it. Like
yeah,
that came from
that
me. That didn't
that
come
didn't
from
come
Matt.
from me at all. And the vote regarding Chell, I was talking about the votes for the people to come back in because there was a
Yeah,
hinky
that,
vote.
or sorry,
There was-
that's what I meant. You said
yeah,
to me that we should look at whoever voted for Chell to come
exactly. Because
back
what
into the
we
game. And I
what
don't personally feel like voting for Chell to come back into the game is suspicious behavior. So I think it's suspicious to draw attention to that as suspicious.
I just think somebody threw a vote to cover it. That's something a trader would do.
I
I
guess I
don't I don't get that,
disagree. I
Matt.
disagree that wanting Chell to come back into the game is suspicious.
Sorry, can
Did
you
you vote for
explain that?
Chell?
Sorry, I didn't hear what Victoria said. I'm sorry.
I guess Matt is saying that if someone voted for Chell to come back into the game, that's suspicious, and I just disagree with that.
I thought it was something to look at. The fact that somebody threw a vote didn't decide between Patrice or Caleb, those were the names that were being thrown out. I thought it was suspicious. I'm just throwing it out there. I doubt anybody would admit right now if they voted for Chell if it's not suspicious.
But I feel like he didn't get any votes from what I remember.
How many? Does anybody
He got
remember
one.
how many votes?
He got one.
each
He got
And
one.
One.
6-4-1.
and
got one vote.
I should add, when it came down to the first breakout room that we had, when we wanted to discuss votes, I was one of the first people that discussed their vote. I didn't even hide my vote.
I
Yeah,
didn't hide mine either.
yeah.
I
It was
didn't either.
it was it was the four
Conversation.
of us that voted for Caleb. It was Matt, Brandon, me, and Victoria, and we all pretty much said it right away.
So, Victoria, I'm gonna ask you another question. There was a theory going around that one of the returnees are a traitor. Do you still feel that way?
Like the original returnees.
Yeah. Do you still feel that way?
I think it's a possibility.
Okay.
I
personally
still think it's worth
so.
looking at those first 5 people that got a shield. Like that first night is really just stuck in my head. I was one of the people. I think who else was? Daniel. I think Victoria.
And
Me,
Who else was one? Jonathan was
Jonathan and
one,
Brad.
and who else?
Brad.
And Brad, right? So just when you look at other games of traders that you've watched on TV, those kind of games, usually a trader tries to hide in with those people that are desperate to get a shield, right? Just
Well,
to like
then
disguise
can't the
themselves.
same thing be said about you?
No, absolutely. I'm not throwing it at you. I'm just saying that wasn't directed at you. I'm saying that there was 5 people. I've said right away that I'm one of those 5 people. I just think that out of those 5 people, one of us at least must have had to have been the trader. And that's not directed at you. I'm just saying we just need to look at those 5 people.
So well, you looked at me a lot yesterday, like everyone did. So
hold up, I'm going to step in here. So I'm going to step in here. So Adam, you're basically saying like you're owning up that one of the 5 you mentioned could be a traitor. Is that what like you're saying right now?
I think one of the 5 people that got a shield that first night could potentially be a traitor. Yeah, I mean I don't know for sure, but like just when you look at the game, the way the game is played on TV in the past, then that's what's happened.
I think that's kind of wild though for me because I feel like if you're looking at the game, it was one of the returnees that was. And personally, I think if I was to say one of the returnees were, I actually don't think it's Anthony or Stick, but I'm just saying, like to me, that's why I thought it was Tina even more so. I would say that's happened on TV. That's happened in the most recent season. So that's more accurate to me than kind of what you're saying. That's kind of a wild theory for me, Adam. It just solidifies the narrative tonight to vote for Victoria, and I'm not on that narrative.
Is he
Adam, you're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, and that's not what my point is. I even said this yesterday about the 5. This isn't the first time I've brought up this is multiple people throughout the last few days. Just because in the first challenge when they're on the boat in the TV series, when they have to get off the boat and go on the docks, there were traders that wouldn't get off the boat because they wanted to hide with the people that needed to get a shield.
Yeah.
I guess like after the 5 of us got a shield, I think you, Adam, were relieved because you thought like, oh, the group of 5 that sticks to the end definitely won't be traitors because only faithfuls would care that much. So now it's a switch up of the narrative that maybe we should consider one of them.
That's not true, Victoria. I never said that.
Or we were all happy because we felt that like as faithfuls we all got the shield.
Of course we want to get a shield, but I've said ever since that competition, I have said to multiple people multiple times that I think that there are potentially a traitor in that 5. But that's not something I've hidden. That's not something I've tried to, like I've said that multiple times. And why would I say that? If I was one of those people potentially in that 5 and I was a traitor, why would I put that theory out there to put an eye on myself? No, I'm not that stupid.
Well, you just put it on someone else.
Huh?
You just did though, Adam.
How?
You just mentioned it.
I said about the 5 people. If I was a trader, why would I bring up the 5 people if I was one of those 5 people to narrow it down? What?
You just said that the 5 people could possibly be a traitor. You just said that though.
Right, yes, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not If I
I
was a
think
trader, why would I say that? Why would I narrow down the field to me being one of those five if I was a trader? That's my point.
I
I
agree.
mean,
I
that's
agree
good.
with that.
That's a good way to hide.
Caleb, he's not saying he didn't say it. He's just saying if he were a traitor, why would he say that?
Oh,
You're good.
Does anybody else have anything to share? Something else that could help tonight?
I would like to hear from Stick. You've been really quiet. What do you
yeah,
think,
I like to
Stick?
hear from Stick also because we're in the breakout room and Stick kind of like had like our eyes rolling about Victoria earlier. That's something I want to know, Stick.
Yes, I didn't have my eyes rolling around Victoria.
Yeah, you did.
I fucking got a date once.
Everyone did.
Several of you people know that. Don't yell at me, Caleb. Thank you.
Stick, don't
No,
don't
don't
bring
yell
that
at
with
me.
me.
Thank you.
Guys,
Okay. My point is that we have two returners, and everybody was really focused on these two returners, Caleb and Patrice. And one of them might be, sorry, Caleb and Patrice. So one of these people might be a traitor. And I said, fine, one of them might be, but we already have a traitor amongst us. So why don't we go ahead and try to find out who that person is? I don't know. My opinion was also, Victoria, that it was you, because in our group chat, you have come up with many different scenarios on who else it could be other than you.
Well, that's what a faithful would do. I'd be comfortable sharing my opinion on just about anyone because there's not a certain group I'm trying to protect, just like the traitors.
So I want to bring up something.
For this. Vote for Stick.
I want to bring up something. So I believe Anthony and Stick were in the room with me, with Victoria. This was the last live that we had. There was a question in regards to the Patrice vote. And we had basically said that it would be too obvious if Jonathan were to kill Patrice. And if there was no suspect, and there was some back and forth going on. What was that about?
What happened was I tried to explain to Victoria that if Jonathan was a traitor, he would not have voted for Patrice and then turned around and voted for or murdered him the next time. And Victoria just couldn't wrap her head around how that could happen.
But you
And in my
couldn't wrap
opinion,
your head around what
if you
I was
can't
saying.
wrap your head around that, then you're not thinking like a faithful, you're thinking like a traitor.
So you're just saying I'm stupid because
No,
I
I'm not. I'm saying
No.
that you're not thinking like a faithful.
no,
You are thinking like a traitor.
I think as a faithful you can't
I've
rule
never called
anyone
anybody
out.
stupid.
I think as a
go ahead,
faithful you
Victoria.
can't rule anyone out, and I thought that you were completely ruling out Jonathan with what you were
Yes,
saying, and so
I
I
was.
disagree that we should completely rule out Jonathan,
I think we
and
should.
that's a faithful can't rule out anyone.
No, don't rule out me.
I am sorry. I am
No.
ruling out
No,
Jonathan
don't rule out
until he
me.
proves otherwise. Sorry.
Don't rule out me. I'll get murdered. Don't do that.
Ah!
Can we have your
Like a
He said,
opinion?
I want this
That's fishy. My opinion?
I wanted the Melissa's opinion. She's been really
Melissa's.
quiet.
Yes, please. Yes.
Wow, everybody's just been really vocal tonight. My original thought, and it has been for a while, that Victoria is a traitor. My reasoning being a lot for what everybody's already said, basically. Do I think she's less of a traitor now after hearing some of the other theories? And, does Adam look more like a traitor now? Does Caleb look more like a traitor now? I don't know.
So
I'm going to go with my gut.
I want to add to this because something happened tonight. Adam and I were involved. We were in a room with Victoria. Caleb joined and said, "Oh, Brandon and Stick are having it out in that other room." So we immediately left and joined that other room. And in that room, just Victoria and Caleb were left in there. So I'm curious, and I monitored it to see when the next person would join. It was only Brandon that joined because we told him about what happened. So, like, guys, just tell us, did you intend to kick us out because you wanted to be alone to have a private conversation?
I didn't kick anyone out.
No, no, you didn't kick it up.
That wasn't
We
me.
left, but
Okay.
Caleb said, "Oh, they're having it out." And when we went to that room, I said,
I
"Stick,
don't
like, what's going on? Did you really have it
I
out?"
don't think I don't think
let
they
me
would do
just
that.
say this.
Brandon and I were good.
Yeah,
Let me
we
just
were
say,
golden. We
can I
were.
just say, can I
Caleb
just say
wants
this? I was
Caleb
in that
wants to
room.
talk, guys. Go ahead,
I was,
Caleb.
thank you, Patrice. I was in that room. They kind of were at it, and then before I left to join you, Anthony, Adam, and Victoria, last I heard before I left, they made up. I
Okay.
specifically said that in that room as well.
No,
You guys just didn't hear me.
we didn't hear the makeup part. That's all. I just wanted to ask that because when we went there, we're like, "Oh, there's no heated argument going on." So I was just curious. That's all.
There's like 10 seconds left. I'm telling you right now,
Oh,
Hey
Brad's
guys,
I'm
here.
not
I'm so
voting for
sorry.
Victoria. I'm not
I'm
voting
not
for
Brandon
vo-
and I are
Victoria.
I'm
good.
not voting for
Oh yeah, we're
Victoria
I'm
good.
not
either.
voting for Victoria. Sorry.
Ah,
Oh, Brad's here.
Hey, I just got here. What's going on?
too late.
Oh, you
10
missed a
seconds.
whole lot, Brad.
It's been 15 minutes. My timer went off.
No, but we would have like kind of a timer, so I guess
Are
we
we
can
getting 20
still
minutes?
talk.
Are we getting 20?
I think
No.
so. I think he's finding us interesting, so
Guys, come on.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. Work
I'm
went
trying to
late.
say you're
Can y'all
adamant
catch me
that you're
up on
not voting
anything?
Victoria, but who do you want to vote for?
I, and this is not me going emotionally. This is, it just doesn't make sense. And it's something, a narrative that a traitor would do, in my opinion. But I did not like how Matt and Adam, and I know Matt, you're saying it wasn't you, but you just co-signed it, in my opinion, what I saw. I don't like how they went after Caleb and Patrice.
I didn't go after Caleb or Patrice.
You
I made
backed
that
up
very,
what Adam was saying when he came into the room. You were explaining it. So
we were
from
talking about it. I
I
didn't
just
back
don't
anything.
I just didn't like
literally
what
a confu
I didn't back
Jonathan,
anything
it
I
up.
was
didn't like.
literally a confusion.
Okay, I'm just saying I didn't like how that happened. And Adam, you're very comfortable last night snacking away when I couldn't eat all day because I was so nervous.
I was working and I've got kids. My wife ordered food.
Okay, I'm just
It
saying.
was delivered
You're
food.
just
I was
asking me what I
eating.
thought.
That's
Melissa
the
asked me
first thing
what
I
I
All right,
thought.
thought. That's what I thought.
silence. Players, please mute. The time for talking has passed. I gave you an extra minute. It's now a time for action. First, um, actually, no. Yes, first, a reminder, everyone, is a possible vote for banishment tonight. Any players not here are eligible to be voted for, but unless they come back, they will lose their vote. But right now, everybody is here. Brad, you're gonna have to turn off your screen thing because I cannot see you at all. So I need to see you. So whatever your background is, you need to get rid of that. Um, so everybody, please write down the name of the player you think is a traitor that you want to banish from the game. Once you have done that, please hold up the paper to yourself with the paper facing you. Brad, I will need you to come back on camera. And again, remember, nobody is allowed to be talking on any other platform right now.
Hey, I'm just parking so I can vote, okay? So I'm sorry.
Okay, I do need to see you though. I just can't
Yeah,
see you.
yeah, I'll take care
Okay.
of that.
Okay. All right. So everybody's got their paper up. Brad, I'm trying. Okay.
You're coming, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Maybe what we'll do then, we will ask Brad to go first and just announce it before everybody else reveals their paper. So, Brad, maybe since I can't see your paper, if you just want to announce and say why you're voting for somebody.
Under the same pretense that I wasn't able to be here last night, I'm just throwing a vote. I apologize so much. I got caught in a situation I couldn't get out of, so I'm going to throw a vote so it's not impacting, and I will vote for Brandon.
Okay, please mute. Victoria.
I voted for Adam. I just feel that he is usually behind pushing narratives, including my own.
Caleb.
Good news is I have paper this time. But I voted for, I don't know if you can see it, I voted for Adam. It's just very suspicious of things that went on today, and I feel like something very sketchy is going on. So I voted Adam.
All right. Adam?
Voted for Victoria. I think she plays her cards very close to her chest. She's very smart, and she knows how to talk herself out of a situation.
Okay. Brandon.
Well, I was originally going to vote Caleb just after him throwing Stick and me under the bus, which I originally wrote his name down, but I changed and I voted you, Adam. Sorry, just with you, everything that everyone's saying and whatnot, I'm sorry.
Okay. We're going to go to Jonathan.
You asked me what my opinion was. You said you think I'm very observant. People have said that tonight, and so I'm just giving you my opinion. What happened earlier just is not sitting right with me. And there's something, I agree with everyone else, something behind it, it felt like. Adam.
Daniel.
Was not comfortable voting a couple people. And so I just kind of voted for you, Patrice. I didn't think anybody was gonna vote for you, so I voted for.
Melissa. Please unmute, Melissa.
Sorry. It was really difficult for me to decide. And at the end of the day, the way I decided was that I had suspicion longer on this person than the person that kind of seems to have came to light tonight. So, with that being said, I did vote for Victoria. And there only because I have I thought longer for you or suspected longer for you, though I am now having doubts. But that's my reasoning.
Okay. Please mute. And we are going to go to Matt. Please mute, Melissa.
I definitely saw different sides to this person today. It was good, refreshing. So I vote Victoria.
Okay. We're going to go to Anthony. Please unmute.
The arguments tonight have been very compelling. I hope I don't regret this, but for many of the reasons already said, I'm not going to hash it out again. I have a feeling, I hope I'm wrong, but Victoria.
Stick.
I thought I was going to be murdered, so I got day drunk, and I have no fucking idea what's going on. So I'm sorry, Brad. It's not you.
And Patrice.
I came into tonight wanting to vote for Victoria. I think she was really convincing. Maybe I'm just easy to manipulate, and she's a good actress, and she played me, but I feel like she was really convincing. So I'm voting for the person who has been one of my favorite person in the game. But tonight, I just felt that something was off. Sorry, Adam. I'm voting for you.
All right. So with 5 votes, Adam, that is you that has been voted. Everybody else, please turn off your cameras. Adam, you have been banished from the group. Before you are completely set adrift and outcasted from this game, please say your goodbyes and please reveal to the group whether you are in fact a traitor or simply one of the faithful.
Okay, so I have had a great time playing. I've made some very good friends. Um, I tried to fight my case tonight. You guys may think that you're onto something. Jonathan, you may think you're the smartest person in the room, but you're far from it because I am 100% faithful.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for playing and hope to see you again soon in future games. All right, we'll see you later, Adam. Everybody else, you can turn on your camera and unmute.
Bogus. Bogus, y'all.
Yeah.
Straight bogus. Straight bogus.
Also not convinced that it's Victoria either anymore.
Same, neither am I.
Nope.
So what happened? Why Adam, y'all?
The reasons we said, like it was out of the gate that, it was just seemed like that whole thing was so weird to me because I didn't see any issue with what Caleb and Patrice were saying. It was explained very clearly.
Yeah, but Adam wasn't saying anything about that. Adam wasn't saying Caleb was wrong.
No, Matt, that was really uncomfortable. Like with you and him ganging up on him. Like
I didn't gang up on Caleb. Caleb,
that's how it felt.
Caleb, if you felt like I gang up on you, I apologize, Caleb, because that was not my intention. Straight up.
I mean, here's what I will say about this situation. I mean, Matt, I don't think I was ganged up, but what I will say is you were the first one to mention my name the last round. But I'm putting that
I
aside
apologize.
because there's probably something suspicious going on, and I thought Adam was part of this suspicious thing that was worrying me the most.
I honestly think you were misled today, Caleb. I honestly do. I'm going to tell you right now. Whoever you're talking to, they misled you today. Straight
Well,
up.
obviously, because we voted for Adam and
He's a faithful.
He's a faithful.
It
was. I know. He owned up to it.
Yes, of course, I'm going to own up to it, but I can still be disappointed.
You voted for him, Patrice.
I know.
You voted for him.
I'm not saying that I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, it's a mistake. Like we all make mistakes in these games, Like, and we're clearly keep making them. So,
how long are we going to keep making mistakes, though? We only have but 4 more lives.
No, I
So
agree.
Matt, you're convinced it's Victoria?
I still think it's her. I do. Even more so now. Look at the way the vote was flipped. Look at how Adam got all these votes.
I didn't flip any vote today.
No one said you did, Victoria.
You
no
just said look
I
at
didn't
the
say you
person
did.
who flipped the vote.
No,
I didn't say you did.
He said split vote.
Split.
Oh.
I didn't say you did. So.
I know there were a couple
Well,
people who voted
faithful. It seems your luck has not changed at all.
Jesus, Phil.
You have failed miserably to eliminate a traitor once again, and your chances of winning are really slipping away. At this rate, you might not even have enough prize money to cover entry into my castle's hidden tiki bar. Meanwhile,
Thanks, Phil.
the traitors are thriving, remaining undetected. Players, wake up. I'm giving you one last chance to regroup and strategize before the night's end. The traitors will strike again soon, but for now, at least some of you have secret shields to protect you.